Hi everyone, Kris from Stone Age Gamer here, and welcome back to Stone Age Gaming. This guy right here, Donkey Kong, the big ape with the monogram necktie, he just turned 40 years old. Can you believe that? 40 years of Donkey Kong goodness. Now there's no arguing that Donkey Kong is one of the most influential games in the history of the video game industry. It brought us Mario, it introduced so many people to the very concept of platforming. I mean, there's so much good in that original Donkey Kong game, and it spawned a crazy interesting franchise for years and years and years. Now, unlike my Zelda and Bubsy videos, I don't have a complete collection of Donkey Kong. I don't even have a complete collection of Donkey Kong games, but I do have a lot of Donkey Kong games and a lot of cool Donkey Kong stuff. And I thought, as a way of celebrating his 40th birthday, and to a degree mine, because I'm only a month older than Donkey Kong, that I should go through my collection and just kind of take a deep dive into some of my favorite, personal favorite Donkey Kong things that I have. Let's take a look. All right, let's talk about some Donkey Kong. Yeah, I mean, look at this guy. He's great. This actually is it actually is one of my favorite Donkey Kong pieces. It's a relatively recent plush, but it was bought for it was a gift for my son when he was a baby. And I love this little guy. I mean, look at him. He's great. Look at him. He's got a necktie and everything. But anyways, let's get to work here on some of my favorite pieces. So now I'm well aware that Donkey Kong it started off as an arcade game, so I don't have the first Donkey Kong game of the most importance, but I do think I have the next best thing, and that would be this guy right here. This is effectively what the Famicom was built for. This is the original Famicom version of Donkey Kong. I couldn't say for sure if this is an original release. I'm no Famicom expert, but I don't know if this was what print run or whatever it is like that. I don't really understand a lot of that, but it is a complete in-box copy of the original version of Donkey Kong, and it's got some pretty snazzy looking box art. I always love that particular drawing of Kong and Pauline and Mario looking all weird and stuff. So let's see what's inside this fun little box. So here's the cartridge. So you can see there's not even any box art on this thing. It's just well, it's awesome looking. I mean, look at this this crazy design. It's wacky to think there were Nintendo games released in these big colorful cartridges that didn't even have artwork on them. But then you have the instruction manual, which is also fairly simplistic, but you've got a little sketchy drawing of the cover there. And then you've just got a bunch of Japanese text that I can't read, which is fun. There's the title screen there, some Famicom controllers, and you've got this awesome, I love this, the Super Mario Brothers instruction manual had the similar situation where they had these cool, like, I don't know, vectory drawings of the actual sprite work from the game. They just look so darn awesome. The pictures, though, look like they're weird. I don't know how well you can see that they're like negatives or something like that. They look so wild like that. But yeah, that's pretty much all there was to the original instruction manual for the old Donkey Kong for Famicom. This is one of my favorite things just in my entire collection, just because of its historical significance. I mean, the Famicom was made to be the system that played the best version of Donkey Kong, and this was pretty close to arcade perfect, minus that missing level. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have this guy right here. This is Donkey Kong for the Atari 2600 Video Computer System by Coleco. This is quite an interesting port of Donkey Kong. I didn't play this. I started out gaming on the Atari 2600 personally, but I didn't have this game until after I had played Donkey Kong on the NES. The NES version was the first version that I played. So going back to this was jarring. It was certainly an interesting experience. I mean, look at that screenshot. Not that this is an actual screenshot. This is an artist's rendering of a screenshot, but it's pretty similar to what it actually looks like. It's the Atari 2600 version of Donkey Kong is really special, but especially special looking. But it doesn't play bad. It actually plays pretty well. Anyway, so let's take a look at this. This is the cartridge. This was eventually reissued with I think I have the red label version that was released by Atari, whereas this was the Coleco release, the original one. And this is in pretty good shape. This isn't the cart that I had when I was younger. This is one that I picked up a lot later, and it's in pretty good condition. I think there's the manual in here too. What else we got? Yeah, we've got our cartridge warranty registration for Coleco Industries Incorporated. I wonder if that still works. And then you've got the cartridge instructions. Look at that. It's a similar drawing to what was on the Famicom cart. And you've got how to work your Atari, that's a little bit more like it. That's really what Donkey Kong looks like in the game. And Pauline, Mario's girlfriend, unbroken letter, broken letter, Mario. And it works pretty well overall. See, that was the one I was thinking of with the straight lines. It's not a bad game. There have been more impressive renditions of Donkey Kong for the 2600 in later years, but considering when this was made, this could have been a heck of a lot worse. So let's stick with some cartridges for a little bit. I'll pull out this little stack here, which I am also rather fond of, and these are my NES games. I do not have these all complete in the box, but I do have them in pretty solid shape. I was fortunate enough to pick these up when I worked at Funcoland. I really wanted to get all of the the Black Label ones. I was trying to collect all those. So let's look at these one at a time here. Here is Donkey Kong Arcade Classic Series, the original, and I love this artwork because it's that's pretty close to the sprite. The barrels are a little not round. That's kind of cool, but look at Mario. This is totally like a redraw of the Super Mario Brothers sprite with, I mean, white and blue coloring here. This is it's just bananas. Bananas, Donkey Kong. But still, very cool cartridge. And we just looked at the instruction manual for the other one. Here's the English version. So let's see. Object of the game. Can you save Pauline from the clutches of Donkey Kong? Help Mario scale the construction site to rescue his girlfriend, Pauline. Dodge the fireballs and barrels that Donkey Kong hurls down the ramps and ladders to thwart your efforts. And then we just kind of go through, and this is pretty much page for page just the Japanese manual with that's been localized. You know, you still got all the same super cool vector art, but it is larger, so you can see it a bit better. Those original Famicom books are really tiny, but it's just such cool stuff. Such cool stuff. I love it, and I love this version. This was not exactly the version that I played when I first played it. It was on NES, but we'll get to that in a second. But this was missing a stage, you know, which was kind of a bummer, but is what it is. Still a very solid version of Donkey Kong. Then we have Donkey Kong Jr. for NES. Another arcade classic series. I think a much more better depiction, box art. You know, that looks a bit more like Donkey Kong Jr. We'll do a quick little look at the instruction manual. Let's see. Object of the game. What's the story of this one? DK Jr. is on a mission to rescue Donkey Kong from Mario's cage. Jump from vine to vine, collecting bonus fruits and avoiding lethal snapjaws. Then move on to tougher stages. Jump platforms, dodge sparks of electricity, and watch out for those birds. Use your skills to get the key that will set your papa free. Hey, that rhymed. Similar situation. Let's see. Look at these bad guys here. We've got Junior, Snapjaw, Nitpicker, and Spark. Ain't that something? So I like Donkey Kong Jr. I've never been. I've been able to do decently at the arcade version of Donkey Kong. I am terrible at the arcade version of DK Jr., but it's pretty easy to beat on NES. It's a neat game. It's such a weird sequel to the original Donkey Kong, though. But speaking of weird sequels, let's look at Donkey Kong 3! Here's Donkey Kong 3, the black sheep of the original series, because it is so weirdly different. That's quite the Kong there. He's very diamond-shaped, but, you know, there's your rock or coconut or whatever it is. So Donkey Kong 3, if you've never played it before, is kind of like a shooter, which is really weird. Object of the game. This one does not have Mario in it. Let's see. We have Donkey Kong's loose in the greenhouse, and only Stanley the Bugman can stop him. Armed with a can of bug repellent, Stanley must work furiously to keep Donkey Kong and all of the buzz bees and bee spies away from his flowers. Get the super spray, and you can blast your way through 3 screens full of greenhouse excitement. It is an exciting game, I'll give it that. This manual is not as interesting as the others. It's got cool artwork, don't get me wrong, but I like that cool, you know, pixely drawn work. But either way, you've got your Stanley, you got your Donkey Kong, who's looking pretty funky in this one. You got a Buzzbee, Bee Spy, and Creepy the Snake. I was always fascinated by this game. A local recreation center by me had the arcade version, And I remember playing it and just being so surprised that a Donkey Kong 3 existed, and was searching for what an actual Donkey Kong 2 was for years. I eventually found it. Donkey Kong 2 does exist. We're going to talk about it in a bit. But yeah, Donkey Kong 3, pretty neat game. But of course, then you have this masterpiece, Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Yeah, I can't believe this game is actually worth the amount of money that it is. I get that it's rare, but this game's awful. This was when I worked at Funko Land. I picked this up when it came into my store one time because I was out to collect all of the Black Label games. It wasn't because I was, oh, this is going to be worth some money someday. No, this was just because I really just wanted to have all the Donkey Kong games. And this one's always been weird to me because this writing is green, but this writing is blue. That's kind of strange. But even stranger than that, after I picked this up, this came into my Funko Land. Donkey Kong Jr. Math Hong Kong version. We had a couple of these games come into my store, Hong Kong versions. I think I'd seen this, and was it Soccer? It might have been the other one. Either way, these just weird light gray Hong Kong version cartridges. I have no idea how they found their way to a Funko Land in New Jersey, but, you know, they did, and I bought them. Well, I bought this one. I didn't buy the Soccer one. Because this one just cracks me up. It's like, look at Donkey Kong Jr. sitting there trying to do math problems. Like, I mean, way to go, buddy. That's pretty impressive, but, you know, that's kind of weird. So I guess that would take us to a few other cartridges before we get to the really fun stuff. Just a couple more that I really want to talk about because I love them so much, and this is Donkey Kong Classics. This is the one that I played for the first time when I was a kid. This was my first exposure to Donkey Kong, and this has always been one of my favorite Donkey Kong related images, you know, because you look back at a lot of the older stuff that we were just looking at, and you know, Mario looks super weird and stuff. He's not the Mario we all remember, but this is like this crazy drawing of a relatively modern looking Mario. Granted, he's still got the swapped blue and red overalls going on there, but I thought this was the coolest thing. Mine's it's a little faded here, but that's, you know, it comes with the territory. I did manage to keep my box and manual and everything in pretty decent shape over the years. Yeah, I just love this. This was both games crammed into one cartridge, and it was kind of funny to me because, you know, here's Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. all on the same cart, but they didn't have space to add the other level back. They eventually did. There was a version of Donkey Kong for NES that had the Cement Factory level added back in, but anyway, the instruction manual really isn't anything to write home about. It's basically just the same two instruction manuals back to back with notes at the end in case you want to include memo or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, here is a Donkey Kong Classics. I love this cart. I just love this artwork. I love the orange. I love everything about it. It's one of my favorites. And speaking of one of my favorites, this isn't exactly rare, but this is just one of the best games ever. This game is so good, and everybody should play it. This is Donkey Kong for Game Boy, also referred to as Donkey Kong 94. This came out in was it July, I think, in 1994? It came out summerish, June or July in 94. And I bought this day one with my Super Game Boy because I had playing Game Boy games on TV in color. That sounds crazy. And it really did work, especially for the ones that were enhanced. Like, this was very much enhanced to work with the Super Game Boy, so much so that the game itself takes on a couple of interesting, unique traits. Like the ending music is different; it's all 16-bit, and the Pauline at the beginning of each stage actually yells "help" instead of just making the sound effect. But goodness, isn't this artwork just fantastic? I just love this picture; it's so great. Now you've got your proper modern Mario, you know, swinging the hammer, chasing after Donkey Kong, and Junior's back in there too. And this game was so brilliant in that it didn't just expand on everything that Donkey Kong was in a really creative and clever ways, but it also kind of incorporated elements of Donkey Kong Jr., where Mario would kind of work the same way as DK Jr. climbing vines. It was really smart. So here's the instruction manual, which is pretty awesome, but these Super Game Boy games also came with a Super Game Boy instruction manual that helped point out certain specific things, like these full color images or ones that just had, you know, a couple colors added to them. Like this title screen looked great, and just unique attributes to the Super Game Boy itself, the Super Game Boy version. And boy, oh boy, what a masterpiece of a game. I just love this one. Okay, next up, let's take a look at this. This is the elusive Donkey Kong 2. I know in the grand scheme of Donkey Kong or just Game & Watches in general. This one isn't exactly super rare or hard to find, but it's Donkey Kong 2. There is a Donkey Kong 2, and it is exclusively a Game & Watch game, and which is it's pretty neat. You can see it's got this cool shiny effect going on there. Artwork is pretty classic. The rest of it's not much to write home about, but you crack it open. It's a dual screen one, kind of like the Zelda one. Mine's pretty faded. This is actually running right now, so I'll start this out so you can hear it, but you can't really see the action too well there, as it doesn't seem to be showing up on camera well at all. But it is very much a functional Game & Watch. Hey, why'd you stop? I just put fresh batteries in you. Oh well. So it kind of works like Donkey Kong Jr., where you're just trying to work your way up to the top, but it combines the other stages together. So you start at the bottom here, you climb the vines, you avoid I call them claptraps because that's what they're called in Donkey Kong Country. I never remember what they're called in here. Oh, there it goes. Now we're making some noise. Okay, so there's DK Jr. I don't know how well you can see him on there. Oh, I just died. And you just kind of use your little jump button. Oh, I jumped right into a spark. And you have to travel from the bottom screen to the top screen. This is super cool. It's Donkey Kong 2. It's an actual Donkey Kong 2. And I need you to stop making noise now. Stop beeping. Stop. Oh, well, whatever. Donkey Kong 2. Next up, I also have this guy, which is also really cool. This is the Donkey Kong 3 Game & Watch, and this one, as you can see, is in much better shape, the LCD itself. What makes this super cool is this is kind of like a prototype. Like if this Donkey Kong is a prototype DS, this is a prototype Switch, because check this out. This is part of the Micro Versus system. You crack this thing open, and it's got two controllers built in, and they're on spools inside, so you can pull these little wires out, and then you just kind of set this thing up, use this bottom part as a stand here. I'll hold this up a little bit better so you can see it, but then you use the controllers, and it's a versus game. You play against one another. You're trying to kind of spray each other with your bug spray and whatnot, which is why aren't you doing things? Just freeze. Oh, there we go. That must be it starting. There we go. All right, so I got the Stanley controller. So you're trying to spray each other, but you also have to manage your ammo by going over to the side and filling up the bug spray that you can shoot, and you're trying to knock each other out. And yeah, you can actually play this single player. Isn't that something? It's a really neat game. I love the artwork on the actual little, I don't know if you call them sprites, the LCD things that are going back and forth there are just super cool. And this is such a neat thing because it's got little break-off controllers, just like the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo just never lets ideas go, which is pretty awesome. Okay, next up, you've seen this guy, right? He's super cool, but he is not at all my favorite Donkey Kong plush. That honor goes to this gentleman right here. Hi! This is my Donkey Kong plush. I got this... Jeez, I don't know when I got this. It wasn't actually when I was a little kid. I got it later. I don't remember from where, but I've always loved this little guy, and I can never really get much detail on the tag here. You can see it's super worn, so I can't see any of the actual numbers or anything. But I remember seeing in the Mario Mania strategy guide, which is a strategy guide for Super Mario World for Super Nintendo, but it also had this neat Mario history thing. They mentioned, they showed a picture of a bunch of Donkey Kong stuff, and there was a picture of this plushie in there, and he looks great, and he does this. It's just so he can hang on to things, but still, that's happening. But look at him. He's so cute. He's definitely up to something. Look at that face. He is up to something. I love this plush so much, and I'm so happy he's in as good condition as he is. So you can see his arm is kind of ripped a little bit there. But, I just leave him hanging around in my closet these days. Actually, I think the arm came off more, and I think my mom sewed this back on for me because my mom's the best. But, yep, Donkey Kong plush. He's so super cool. I love this guy. I love the weird little hand movements and stuff. And you can just see the evolution here is pretty fun, This is the same character. Bananas. Ha, I said bananas again. All right, next, let's take a look at this. Now, if you follow Stone Age Gamer's social media, you've probably seen, I post about these all the time. Once a month, I always show off a different month of these calendars. These are the Nintendo The Power Game calendars, and this was the only one that had Donkey Kong in it. You can see he's right there chilling there on the cover. Now this one in particular, the 1991, was amazingly awesome because it has all this like really weird artwork in it and stuff. But we're going to go straight to June, which is the Donkey Kong month. And here we go. Look at that. This is the month of June. There's your giant Donkey Kong sprite. You got a little DK Jr. hanging out down there. I'm not sure what's up with this font with the purple polka dots on it, but whatever. I like how you've still got this reinvention of the... they're basically just taking the NES Super Mario Brothers sprite and kind of shrinking him down, so Pauline's still kind of humongous compared to him. But, man, look at this thing. Isn't this awesome? I just love this thing. I love this whole calendar. I mean, every single one of these months, especially the 1991, they're all weird and all super cool, but I mean, there's so much great artwork in here. But the Donkey Kong one is what we're here for today, and ta-da, I have just been so obsessed with these calendars. We're on the fourth one right now, which is current. A couple of years ago, this actually became current again, and I've been using them as my regular calendars for a little bit now. And like I said, I take pictures every month and throw them up on Stone Age Gamers social media channels because they're just so darn cool. Moving on, sticking with the pre-country years, we have this. This is the Donkey Kong board game from Milton Bradley, and boy, just look at Mario's face there. There's just something weird about that. It's just a creepy looking Mario right there. But based on the arcade game, it's a similar situation to what we did on the there's a video a while back I did on the Super Mario Brothers board game. This is yet another Nintendo video game related board game that I have. This is definitely a bit older, but let's take a look at what's going on the inside here. No instructions on the inside there. So the board itself, as you can imagine, is based on... It's actually really interesting because the board itself is really based on the artwork more than it is the game. You know, you look at a screenshot of the game, you think of the girders in Donkey Kong, the steel girders. Is that the right thing that they're called? I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know construction, whatever. They're all like pink on black, but this is totally based on the artwork. Like, that's just crazy to me that this was the interpretation that they went with. So that's kind of amazing. You got these... oh my goodness. All right. So Pauline's tied to that pole up there. That's kind of weird. You got all these... wow. Look at that. How's that for some artwork? That's a heck of a Donkey Kong right there. So you get these cards up there. I really don't remember how to play this. I didn't enjoy it when I did. You've got jump and hammer cards, and they're all worth like different points. You have this Donkey Kong here that you kind of put this together. His arm goes in here, and then he throws barrels. So he like clips to the side of the board with this little clip here, and then you load him up with barrels, and like you load the arm up with barrels, and then he drops them down. Oh, you load him up here. That's right. You throw the barrel in here, and then he like drops a barrel on the board. And these little barrels, I found the game really tedious because you have to move all these barrels and stuff all the time. Here's the die that came with it. Here's a little fireball icon, and I love this because this is up to 4 players. You've got these 4 different colored Marios. So you've got your blue Mario, you've got your green Mario, you've got your yellow Mario, and your red Mario. And that is the Donkey Kong board game. It's pretty wild. I don't think the game's actually very fun at all. Donkey Kong rests. But my son's been having a lot of fun with it lately, so maybe there's something I'm missing. I'll play it with him one of these days, and we'll figure it out from there. All right, so we got a couple more fun things to look at. Now, 1994 was... the Donkey Kong 94 came out for Super Game Boy, and it was super amazingly cool, but then this showed up in the mail. This was a promotional VHS tape that Nintendo Power sent out, and I was not a Nintendo Power subscriber at the time, as much as I wanted to be, so I'm still not sure how this wound up in my mailbox, but I'm so glad it did, because I obsessed over this video. This was the first I had ever seen of Donkey Kong Country, and it's a full, incredibly 90s just VHS promotional tape about, you know, the making of Donkey Kong, what the game was about, what it was going to be like. It's mind-blowing graphics, which honestly, I mean, they really were mind-blowing at the time. I mean, look at these leaves in the background. Like, they this was a big deal. Look at the reinvention of Donkey Kong. This was the first time this particular form of Donkey Kong had been taken. There's really nothing else going on the outside here. The tape itself is pretty snazzy. Just VHS tape with your Donkey Kong Country artwork exposed. This video is so cool. I love this thing, and I watched it so many times because I was unabashedly entrenched in the console wars back then, which are completely ridiculous looking back on it now. Like, the Sega Genesis is awesome, but I was a Nintendo kid, and this was like, this was putting the stake in the heart of Sonic the Hedgehog. This was like, yeah, Sonic's cool, but look at this. This was the big comeback, and this really did help. The game really did turn the tide for the Super Nintendo in that whole generation there. But boy, oh boy, this specific tape, man, I spent a ton of time with this. Speaking of Donkey Kong Country, though, there's this little doodad here. This is not what you think it is. I don't actually own one of the Donkey Kong Country competition cartridges. I wish I did, because I did actually compete in it at my local Blockbuster. I came in second, which was not enough to move on, but years and years later, I came across this. This is actually two different things that I've pieced together. This box is a reproduction box from a website called Uncle Tusk. And he does these really cool repro boxes. They're not even repros because they're boxes for things that never had boxes. So, like, I bought a box for Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, or Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World, like pack-in games and stuff that never had boxes. He put together these really awesome boxes for them. And I think this one's great. And it does a great job of containing this cool little guy in here. If I can open this up without bending my box. Crazy person. I picked this up online ages ago, and it's a really snazzy reproduction cartridge of the Donkey Kong Country competition thing, the competition card that they used at the Blockbuster thing. So, yeah, it comes in this awesome. Well, it came in. They don't make these anymore. At least I've not seen them on the site that I got them from. I don't think anybody really produces these anymore in a world of EverDrives, etc. But this is it's just a really cool thing, and it was really nice years later to actually plug this into my Super Nintendo and play that competition cart again, because I practiced so hard for this thing, and it was all about collecting as many bananas as you could in a limited amount of time, but I didn't realize that the stages were going to skip around. I practiced the first handful of stages. I think they said it was the first like 5 or 6 stages or whatever when I was asking about the rules, and so I practiced the heck out of those, and then they threw this curveball. I was like, wait, that wasn't the next level in the game. I'm in no way prepared for this, and I was still told that I made second place at my store, but it wasn't enough to move on in the competition. Oh well. Still awesome. I'm so glad I have this. So, only got a couple of things left. First, I want to show off this awesome guy here. This, I believe, came from when I was working at Funko Land. This was a pre-order bonus for Donkey Kong 64. Look at this giant shirt. You can see that it's a little worse for wear. It's because I wore the heck out of it. It's definitely not as white as it used to be. I don't know how well that's coming through on the video, but I mean, look at it. It's a giant Donkey Kong face, and it's Donkey Kong 64, and it's pretty neat. It's kind of the similar situation on the back. You got Kong's face looking forward. He's back again, because, you know, I don't know. It made sense when they said he's back when Donkey Kong Country first came out, but they kept using that for these. I don't know. I don't love Donkey Kong 64. I really wanted to, but it's not my bag of tea, as nobody really says. But what's more important is this guy right here. This was the pre-order bonus for Donkey Kong Country somewhere. I don't remember where. I don't remember where my mom bought this game for me back in the old days. But look at this guy here. I love this shirt so much. All right, so to say I was obsessed with Donkey Kong Country would be a bit of an understatement. I played the game once a day, every day for like a year. Just at the very least, I'd turn it on, go to the map screen, and beat like one of the early stages just for a couple of minutes, just to be able to say I played Donkey Kong Country today, because I was a nut. But I wasn't the only nut. My friend Adam also had this shirt. And now this isn't the exact one that I had, because I don't remember where I got this. This is another, it's the same shirt, but it's not literally the same shirt, because my original one got worn to death. Like, it was no longer a viable piece of clothing in any stretch of the imagination. But my friend Adam and I wore these shirts to school every Friday because we were nerds. And every Friday, without fail, the two of us would be wearing our green Donkey Kong shirts. And I like this one so much better than the other one, too, because not only does it have this, you know, the green going on in the background, but the back of it is actually the back of Donkey Kong. Look at that. So you got his face on the front, the back of his head on the back. I love that. I love it. Oh, man, when Donkey Kong Country first came out, that was such a thing, and I love the most of the Donkey Kong Country games. I have a 3 I'm not nuts about, and you know, a longer story. But all right, I got one more thing now. I guess, you know, we live in a world where something like this is not unheard of, but you know what? This was a GameCube game, and that was a long time ago now. So maybe this is news to some people. This is one of the most interesting Donkey Kong games ever made. This is Donkey Kong Jungle Beat for the Nintendo GameCube. This is what the Mario Galaxy team did before they did Mario Galaxy, and this game is brilliant. It is a So the DK bongos. Let's take a look at what's going on inside here. In case you didn't know, during the GameCube era, they released a pair of bongos for the Nintendo GameCube, and they came with a game called Donkey Konga, which is hilarious. I mean, that's just a great name. So these are the DK bongos. They plug in because they are a GameCube controller, and you've got your start button on here. You have your left bongo, your right bongo, and then you have this microphone in the middle that registers a clap. Or like I tend to do, you just hit the side so it makes a similar sound, because like this is just, I don't know, there's too much going on there. Donkey Konga was a rhythm game, and it was a really stupid, fun rhythm game. Like, it wasn't the most amazing rhythm game you've ever played, but it was really fun. There was just something intensely fun about having these silly little bongo drums that you just beat up and do your thing with. And then these lunatics made a platformer that controlled with the DK bongos. Now, this did get re-released on the Wii with motion controls, and it did not work anywhere near as well as this did. This game only works like this. It is very much designed for these bongo controllers. And it's just nuts. It's such a weird and creative game. There's just never really been anything like it. You get into fights, like the boss fights, you'll do this to dodge, and then Donkey Kong will you start punching, so you have to do this to mimic his punches. Or during the stage, you tap right to move right, tap left to move left, double jump to jump, and then clap, clap, clap to grab bananas, like he just grabs bananas out of the sky. I can't say enough good things about this. If you have a GameCube or a GameCube compatible Wii, and you can get your hands on a functioning set of bongos, which, there's a bunch of them out there. They're kind of like Guitar Hero controllers. They were everywhere, because Donkey Konga was a pretty decent-sized success. Get this game, but don't play the Wii version. Play the GameCube version. It's fantastic. I thought I was done, but then talking about Donkey Konga just reminded me of a couple of the strangest pre-order bonuses and really memorable ones. And I don't even remember if these were pre-order bonuses, but look at this. This is a Donkey Konga shot glass. Because they knew exactly who they were marketing Donkey Konga to. Like, it's all public domain music and whatnot, but the idea here was have a drink with your friends and play Donkey Konga. And they were really encouraging that without flat out saying it. So, like, our Nintendo rep would come to the store, and they gave us a handful of these shot glasses and be like, yeah, this is the environment that you should play Donkey Konga in, which I thought was really cool. But even weirder than this with Donkey Konga is this. This is, let me see if I can actually get it on screen here. This is a stool. This is like a camping stool, a fold-out stool that says Donkey Konga on it. And they gave a couple of these to each of our stores, so we could set them up and people could sit down, put their DK bongos on their lap. Oh, there goes my box. Put their DK bongos on their lap and sit out here on our sales floor on these little camping chairs and play Donkey Konga, which was just completely nuts. But no, I loved it. This was such a weird time. This was such a strange thing, because this was what Donkey Kong was on the GameCube, right? There wasn't, the exception of Jungle Beat, there wasn't like a proper Donkey Kong game on the GameCube. It was all Donkey Konga, and there were 2 sequels to it. One of them didn't come out in America. I think the third one was Japan only. But yeah, Donkey Konga, that was a thing. Camping chairs, shot glass, absolutely bananas. So, 40 years of Donkey Kong. Now, I have a lot of cool Donkey Kong stuff, but I am nowhere near the definitive Donkey Kong collection. Like, not even close. I mean, this guy, he's got a heck of a history, and I love most of it. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there that's of questionable quality, like that animated series. Remember that thing? That was weird. Regardless, I love Donkey Kong. You love Donkey Kong. What is your favorite Donkey Kong? Let us know. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, please comment, like, subscribe, do all that cool, fun YouTube stuff that the people that are a lot younger than me like to say. And like I said, let us know what your favorite Donkey Kong games are. Let us know what you think of that weird CG animated cartoon, or what you think of the old cartoon where Mario looked very different. Either way, tell us what you think about Donkey Kong. Thanks again for watching. On behalf of all of us here at Stone Age Gamer, keep playing games. All right, you big ape. Let's see what you got. Skip the hammer. I'm gonna not get hit by that barrel. What do we got here? Alright, I'm going for it. Oh no, I shouldn't have gone for it. Oh no, I shouldn't have gone for it. I knew it was gonna happen.